Okay, up next what's going on with this music? There we go. Up next we've got George, who's going to do some stand-up, which is the first time in a while we've had stand-up here, so give George a big round of applause, please.
Hello everybody! How are we doing this evening?
Hey, we're back.
Woo! One person says not bad, so that's good enough, I suppose, for a Wednesday night, isn't it? So, yeah, I've done stand-up on here before. Some of you may recognise me, some of you may not. Hopefully by some of the posters that are up around here as well. But, you know, it's nice to come out on a Wednesday night because it's nice to give yourself a challenge as a comedian to try and make a Wednesday night audience laugh. So I did have a really good opening gag about wearing the cardinal sin of fashion, which is the double denim look, but the one who was on before me has ruined it because he was wearing double denim and he looked great. But then again, with his hair, he had a whole sort of Bruce Springsteen Donovan thing going on. I look like Dara O'Brien's going through a midlife crisis. But, you know, it's hard to find any kind of outfit that works for me because I'm a balding, moon-faced, thousand-yard stared moron. It's hard to find anything that kind of works in that regard, so I just throw on whatever, to be honest. But that all being said, I do have one winning smile. I do have to be careful what I do with my eyes in that particular smile because this is fine, this isn't. It's like, this is, how do you do that? This is, I'm going to kill you. Either that or I'm off my tits on methamphetamines. But with that smile, I do have to make sure I take care of my teeth, of course, so I go to the dentist very often. I've been to the dentist probably more times than anybody in this room put together because I've had a lot of bad dental problems over the years. I've had to have tons of dental operations, including one where I've had to have bits of my tongue removed. And I'm not kidding, so just be thankful I'm up here and I'm as eloquent as I can be, considering that I've literally got half of tongue left. But basically what it was is that there's a thing in your mouth called a tongue tie. It's what connects your tongue to the base of your mouth. Mine was restrictive. It was not allowing me to stick my tongue out too far. So basically I went to have an operation to have it removed. And this is where I found out that these days dentists are way too concerned with making themselves seem like hairdressers because they will not stop talking to you even during an operation. So like I'm having part of my tongue removed and all of a sudden it's like, how are you doing today? You going anywhere nice on your holidays? Well, I think I'm going to have to go to the doctors now because I swallowed the mirror that you had halfway down my throat while you started talking to me. But, you know, it ended up working in the end. I had that part of my tongue removed, so it was all clear. And it's a good thing too, because having a restrictive tongue tie basically makes it very difficult to perform cunnilingus. So, yeah, I can do that now. But they do say... Thank you, Toby. But they do say, apparently, the best way to perform that is to actually spell out all the letters of the alphabet on your partner's clitoris. And I do think to myself, if that is the way to do it, maybe that there's another way you can do it further by actually spelling out words on the partner's clitoris and seeing if they can guess it. And if that was the case, what I'd be spelling would be, is it my turn yet? Either that or, have you got a mint? But you know, I do hate to leave things unfinished, even in sex. So if we have to stop at any point, I like to make sure I remember where I left off. So I put a bookmark in her breasts. Unfortunately, she has the same kind of idea, so she puts one up my arsehole. I can see Toby's desperately trying not to laugh there too hard, because he's like, I'm a professional, I have to stay composed here. Oh dear. But on a separate topic, I'm planning to move to Canada soon, possibly around next year, January time. I've been to Canada many times before, it's a really fun place, but some of the ways in which they name their streets is a little bit blunt, even by British standards. Or in some cases they just sound really weird. Like there's two roads called Cabbage Way and Moss Road, which to me just sounds like euphemisms an old person would use for their genitals. But there's also a place in Canada that's literally called Avenue Road. So basically there's a road in Canada that's literally called Road. And even in a place where in this country we've got so many old roads, new roads, and getting on a bit but I'm still hanging in there roads, I'm actually surprised we don't have the same sort of thing in this country. But I do really love Canada, so I'm really hoping I can make it over there. So fingers crossed, and as my mum would say, toes crossed, although theoretically that's not really possible unless you've got terrible arthritis, which I did actually see once. I actually have seen a person with their toes crossed in the Museum of Bognor, of all places, because yes, such a place does exist. Although to be fair, in the Museum of Bognor, it's more or less, here's a brick from the building that the Mafia petrol bombed last year. Here's the syringe that the local porn star OD'd herself with. And there was a woman there who all of her toes were basically crossed over onto her big toe like this, and yet she was still somehow able to put on flip-flops. Either that or she woke up one day and she realised she couldn't take them off. Okay, so I got a couple of jokes here from my friend. She asked me to say them. They're proper groaners, but they are quite fun. So, why do Americans always carry a pencil? In case they need to draw out of their conclusions. And here's another one, and this one I really like, it's very funny. Why was the math book depressed? Because it was full of problems. It's very good. So thank you for those, Alicia. Hopefully you can give me some more jokes I can steal in the future. But if you're coming up here and you're watching me and you're thinking, I'd really like to see more of this guy, hopefully on a night where everyone isn't talking over him, well, you can. And if you see on your tables, I've put down flyers for you of my big show that's coming up in May. And also there's posters all over the place, including one on the toilet door for the women's bathroom, which, I mean, I've been caught sneaking my head around the women's toilet door before, but probably best not to have that up there so blatantly. But yeah, so feel free to take a fly back home with you. I'm doing a big show here on the 18th of May. Tickets are £5 a piece. So yeah, please do come down and support me in May, because that would be amazing. But until then, you've been wonderful. Thank you very much.